Tonight, first with the nation's news, the former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher is taken on her final journey. Forrest hopes to play his part after recovering from injury. Good evening, I'm John Mackay. This is the STV News at 6, live from Glasgow. The funeral has taken place of Baroness Thatcher, who died last week at the age of 87. Thousands lined the streets of central London to pay their respects and say their goodbyes. Where the industry was decimated during her time in power, some celebrated her passing with champagne. Others reflected on how the Thatcher years changed their lives and their communities forever. Here's our chief reporter, David Cowan. Apologies, that report not playing yet. We'll maybe try and come back to it later. In the meantime, a planned protest is underway this evening in Glasgow's George Square. Our senior reporter, Mike Edwards, is there now. Mike, what's being said?
Well, it's actually quite a pleasant spring evening here tonight. It's been a very wet and windy day throughout the day here in Glasgow. But still tonight, I would say probably about 100 people have turned out for a rally. A very different atmosphere to the night Lady Thatcher died.
Was anti-Scottish, and that the Conservative Party was anti-Scottish. It's interesting to contrast the mood, the legacy that is viewed from north of the border, which is a negative one, very much a different atmosphere down here in London.
Bernard at Westminster, thank you. Now, it was a day of impressive choreography when most of those who lined the streets of the capital paid their respects to a towering figure of British politics. Here's Bernard's report.
Just before 10 o'clock, as much of central
and some localised flooding in places. To find out if that rain will still be with us tomorrow, join me a little bit later on.
Well, our main story of the day has been the funeral of the former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Bernard Ponsonby is in London tonight.
A day when a colossus of the political stage is laid to rest. Margaret Hilda Thatcher was a politician to her fingertips, and yet that funeral service today at St Paul's, there was a...
With Scottish Power.
On Scotland Tonight, on the day Baroness Thatcher is laid to rest, how will the longest-serving Prime Minister of the 20th century be remembered? What happens if Scotland votes yes in the referendum also? We look at a new book which explores what independence would mean in practice. That's Scotland Tonight at 10:30. And apologies to viewers in the north and east of the country who didn't get their programme tonight due to technical problems. All stories are, of course, on stv.tv. Regular programmes resume tomorrow. From all of us, thanks for watching. Have a good night.
To watch all your STV news on the move, keep up to date with our dedicated STV Player app for iPhone and Android.